Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today's episode, right, number 2, we'll be talking about retirement, pension, and medical benefits with a retiree. Last episode we talked about financial freedom formula, right? So you have your passive income and then expenses. As long as your formula is a positive flow, you are considered financial freedom. Okay, so this episode number 2 we'll be talking about retirement pension, right? How big this pot of money is worth. So right off the bat, you have to serve 20 years, right, to consider a retiree to qualify for your pension. And again, 20 years is a kind of like a standard number. We'll talk about standard case here, just 20 years. Statistically speaking, so for enlisted members, right, only 20% will make it to retirement. And there are about 50% of officers, basically they'll serve 20 years and receive retirement pension. I think mainly because of the quality of life and pay itself is way better than enlisted, right? So like I said, if you have the plan, I would highly recommend to go officer route, right? So don't be like me, right? Just kind of swimming, right? Until retirement. So if you have been in for more than 9 or 10 years, you're most likely fall under the high 3 plan, right? Meaning when you serve 20 years, your pension will be 20% of your basically your last 3 years, right? So for this episode, I'll be using my condition, my situation as a benchmark. So for an E6, right, in 2022, if you max out your pay, it'll be about $4,400 per month. So if you do the math, it's about 4,400 times 50%, right? So it's 2,200, and you multiply by 12 months, right? So that's about $26,000 of that's your pension for the year. And again, it's adjusted based on inflation, right? So we can use this number to be part of your retirement portfolio. Okay, now let's see how much money if you're the new blended retirement system pension will look like if you serve 20 years. So $4,400 multiply by 0.04, right? 40% of your base pay, right? So you have $1,760, right, times 12 months. So you're only getting $21,000 per year, right? So that's about $5,000 less compared to the high 3 plan. If I retire at 40 years old, if I live until 85 years and drop dead right now, right there, it's gonna be about the difference between high 3 and BRS. It's about $200,000 difference, right? Yes, they do have a match for your BRS, but it's not a lot, right? So for 5%, it's like what? Like $200, right, for E6, right? And you only get the match while you're on active duty. You don't get the match once you retire. But the pension itself, you'll get paid continuously as long as you're breathing, right? You're alive, right? Once you retire. So I think that's the caveat for high 3 and BRS, the difference. So let's say if you retire at age 40 and live until age 85, right? So that's about 45 years, right? So 26,000 multiplied by 45 years. So that's about $1.2 million, right? The current value of the pension itself, right? So like I said, it's inflation adjusted. So your pension will keep going up, right? So that's how much money the pension is worth. All right, so let's talk about another interesting topic. If you're going to serve for 20 years, medical benefits that you have entitled to. This one is it's called a service-connected disability pay. Most retirees, once they serve 20 years, I mean, you can always like claim like at least like 70% of disability, right? Hey, shoulder pain, neck pain, all that stuff. But I'm not a VA lawyer, so I'm not going to talk about how to file like a VA claims here. But yeah, so let's say if you do receive like 70% rating on your VA disability, right? That's about $1,500, right? For example, if I have kids and if I'm married with kids, that's about $1,700 per month, and it's $18,000 per year, tax-free. That's pretty good deal, right? Yeah. So if you do the math, so let's say if I retire at 40 years of age, I'm looking at my pension / disability combined. I'm looking at about $44,000. So yeah, and again, it's like until the day I die, right? So that's pretty intense number. Also, when you talk about like TRICARE retiree plan, it's also part of the retirement benefit. The TRICARE for retiree, it's about $100 per month, give or take. Again, military medical care, it's not world class, right? I like to see it as like a last resort. Like if I am gonna get cancer, right, I'm not gonna end up having like tons of medical bill, like a debt, right, medical debt. So it's like a last resort. And also your kids can also be under your plan until they turn 26 years old. So these are like the basic numbers for if you retire as an E6 in the military, right? And then that's how much money you're looking at. So let's do a quick calculation. So consider I'm gonna live from age 40 until 85, right? So 44,000 multiplied by 45 years. So that's about $2 million, right? That's about like $2 million of like the pension / disability benefits. Just remember this number, and like I said, retire as an E6 in like active duty. That's like the bare minimum. So if you retire as a chief, senior chief, like a lieutenant commander, that's gonna be kind of way up, right? And because every pay grade, like you get extra maybe 1,000, 2,000 per year, right? If you ask me, right, I'd rather retire as a first class, right, and just like kind of work at a station in San Diego rather than going to like a Lemoore or Virginia and then pick up chief or pick up senior chief. No, I'd rather stay here and retire as a first class. So that's my take on retire pension. So yeah, so for this episode, we'll basically just covering these retirement plan, pension, benefit, disability, like a broad topic. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it down below. I'll answer it. Please give a thumbs up to the video. I'll see you at the next video. All right, so I know the military retirement plan / pension, it's really good, right? But is it worth it to serve 20 years to get all these benefits? I do have two questions, right, for you though. Number one is that do you enjoy what you do? If you don't, get the out of the military, right? If you do, okay. Continue on the second question is that can you handle, like, for example, like deployment, right? Deployment requires you to be away from your family and the society for like maybe 7 to 10 months, right? If you don't mind, like, hey, I'm okay with disconnecting with the society for like 10 months every 2 years or so. I mean, by all means, right? It's really good, like serving in the military. I mean, if both questions do not apply to you, I mean, by all means, right? Like me, I enjoy what I do, And I married my wife at kind of like a mid-career, right? I kind of explained, Uncle Sam will send me somewhere out of sea for like 7 to 10 months at a time, and she's okay with that. So yeah, so I probably will just finish up 20 years and just and then probably just enjoy the next chapter of my life, right? So yeah.